It's okay. I'm a potato. I'm a potato.
Let's go.
I'm a potato. Hopefully Mog enjoys that. Bye. Oh, he's coming back. Time to go. Time to go indeed. Marshall, please! Oh god, he's back.
You know, let's just do the same thing. Cloud.
Oh, well, that was all.
I fucking can! What the fuck? Somebody clip that! Chat, clip that! I fucking can!
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm gonna act like I didn't see it.
Thanks.
What happened? I alt-tapped.
Appreciate you, Kings.
I need you to make an
NT.
impulsive digital purchase.
I've drawn a squirrel.
Stones.
What I've done is I've drawn a squirrel.
Squirrel.
I drew a squirrel. What I've done is I've drawn a squirrel.
That's Swovet.
I'm starting over again. I drew a squirrel.
Okay.
Sun and cup, sun and cup, sun and cup.
I'm at sun.
I'm at dead. You know, that's valid.
I was singing.
I was singing to you, motherfucker! You better fucking listen! Ah! Fine! 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, with ass! Oh! Oh! God, why does it taste like that? Oh! Ah! Why does it taste like that? Ah! Tell me why it ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why it ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why. I never wanna hear you say I want it that way. That flare! Mickey! It was just a flare! $50 Steam cards to pick up health values too? Hell yeah!
I mean, I can start blowing cards up.
I'm causing carnage.
The car! But did you die though? Oh my god. But
Those are knockers.
no! No! Absolutely not. I see why it's called Quap now. I see why it's called Quap now. I'm just gonna close this window. That hurts my feelings. Don't look at my DMs. Fuck you guys. Are you working yet? Now you are. Okay, cool. Why are you crouched in the middle of the road, you dumb bitch? Not the whole block having guns, LeMayo. That's... Did you just run my bitch over? Excuse me? Only I get to run that bitch over. Fucking rude. I need a car. Cause that car is definitely smoking. And yeah, I don't want that. Okay, so you're dead now. Give me your car. Give me your car.
We hold this door with our life.
There's a whole team on me.
Oh,
We hold this door with our life.
How did I pull that contract off, y'all?
I don't know.
No idea.
Ow!
That was.
I've been stun grenaded. Oh, that's not you guys! They're right outside your door, you idiots!
Oh, gas is closing on us. Uh-oh. We have gone off.
The tuna head, shoulders, knees and toes, arms, legs, heads and tits. Arms, legs, heads and tits, heads and tits. Arms, heads, legs and tits, legs and tits.
One bitch, two bitch, red bitch, dead bitch.
None of my bitches are dead.
It's me, I'm the
They're
dead
all
bitch.
right there.
You just triggered my fight or flight response. Unfortunately for you, I am a flightless bird.
Open the door, you bastards!
If it isn't nailed down, it's coming with me. If it isn't nailed down, it's coming with me. If it isn't nailed down, I'ma shove it in my pockets. If it isn't nailed down, it's coming with me. I know what Wonderwall is! I'm a good emo! I know what Wonderwall is! Hello everybody, good evening, good afternoon, good time zone to you. Welcome on in. Happy... God, what the fuck is today? Happy Sunday. Welcome on in. I got a haircut. I feel a lot better now that I have received a haircut. We're gonna play some more Expedition 33 today because I'm really enjoying it, and also I want to get through it and get to share this experience with you guys. It's also gonna be a shorter stream today because I've got a recording. I know Wonderwall. I know Wonderwall. Silence. We should not circle back to that. I know what Wonderwall is. Let's leave that alone. I know what Wonderwall is. I know what Wonderwall is. Let's not circle back around to that. But yeah, we're gonna play some more Expedition 33. It's gonna be a shorter stream today because I've got a recording tonight. But I didn't want to miss out on playing this with you guys since we skipped a couple streams this week already. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I appreciate all y'all for being here and hanging out with me. And for spending your evening with me when you could be anywhere else on the internet, but you decided to come hang out here. So yeah, let's get into the game, shall we? Your operatic sounds, what that? That's the Expedition 33 music. That is the music for Expedition 33, Danny, that you're hearing right now. Very gorgeous music. Alright, let's try this boss fight again. Suddenly so graceful all of a sudden? Exactly.
I'm ready.
Ah, shit. Okay, I remember why we stopped doing this boss fight now. Let's get out of here. We do already have a death to add to the death counter. I don't know why that update didn't update to the right time. You're gonna be by a bush? It's a sheep, Danny. It's a sheep. I'm pretty sure it's a sheep anyway. I'm pretty sure it's a sheep anyway. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I like bush better. It's a pink bush. Okay. Cherry blossom bush. True. Let me move my chair so I can sit up a little bit more for you guys. There we go. Onward. Hally-ho.
let's do some grinding for a little bit. Just parry better? Shut up. You guys hate me, huh?
A storm is coming.
I didn't pay attention to the fact that it was doing a move. Avoid the bush, I think you win that way. Fair enough. There we go.
Take him down.
Ah, right, that bitch dodges. I forgot about that.
Ice shatter. Brace
Why do you dodge all of my shit constantly?
ready to evade. I'll do it.
Alright, let's heal Lune. Hi Mortis, how are you?
Lune, watch out.
There we go. Doing well, just gaming and chilling. What are we gaming on today? What are we gaming on today? Valorant? Hell yeah, Valorant. I would join you later, but I have plans tonight to record a new YouTube video. Is this the way I'm supposed to go? This looks like coral, so I think this is the way I'm supposed to go. Flying water, sure. Okay, I think this is where I'm supposed to be. Yeah, this is a cutscene. You went in your games, Mortis?
'68. Elodie's expedition.
You know the commanders of every expedition.
Expedition 68. Their boat was blown into the air by a storm. Lumiere lost sight of
That's some okay ones and some shit ones. I mean, that's just Valorant.
And they survived.
That's just Valorant.
The storm, at least.
Alright, let's keep moving. We found the weird corals. Mael must be close by.
We can find my I'm still looking around for some little secrets. Like this.
Interesting.
SOS shell. Apply shell when falling below 50% health. Interesting. I'll have to put that on somebody. I think both of them still have Picto slots left. I like playing as Lune better, because she floats. I think that's just a cool mechanic. Uses her Lumion to float around like this. Like I'm made of glass. Like I'm made of paint. Let's see here. Paint cage. Lock the cage when it's 3 locks and shoot them. Alright, what kind of lock do you have? D. Really want what's inside this paint cage. What's up, DJ? Lock in? I'm trying to lock in, DJ. I'm trying my best to lock in.
I need you to make an impulsive,
An impulsive digital purchase. Can I get a note, Mortis, to make sure that all the alerts and stuff come through on the vertical version, and make a vertical version of my starting soon screen? You're not busy? You win those? I don't know if I win these. I don't understand what it wants from me. I want inside the cage. Let me in. Let me in. I want in. Thank you, Mortis. Twitch now has a weird thing where it takes anybody on mobile and sends them straight to this like vertical version now. And I noticed on my starting soon screen that it was just the mobile version. And I didn't have anything set up for the mobile version. And so they were just sitting there staring at nothingness on if they joined on mobile. Yeah, so I should probably fix that. I also need to change that. Okay. We'll come back to that.
Nice.
That guy had an unfortunate death. Let's go back over here. I want to figure this out. Let me actually do one thing real fast. There we go. Now that's pinned in chat before I forgot to do that. Cool. Is it disconnected from the globe? From the globule? Like, is it out here somewhere? Let's find out. Okay, so I can't actually shoot those symbols, which means they are somewhere out and about in the world. We'll come back to that.
Wait. Everyone. Looks like a different species.
Doesn't matter. They're between us and Mael.
A storm is coming. Ready to evade.
Okay. I'm gonna have to learn the timing on these new parries. That's deeply unfortunate because I had just gotten the parries down on the other one. This place is gorgeous though. Holy shit, this is a pretty place. Luna is not looking too hot though. Her health is not looking great. If I could get like a health potion or something for her, that'd be great.
Nice.
Can't use those right now. Got it. There's another one with Nevrun nearby.
Let us stain them. Feel the burn. Ready to evade.
Okay, she's dead now. That's unfortunate. Let's revive her real fast because I kind of need her.
That hurts.
Okay, so they're weak to lightning. Nice.
Well, that will help.
Mark on free aim shots. Okay. What am I running on him right now? The dead energy for marking shots. Can I heal her at all? Okay.
Those mines. Be careful.
I didn't get the bonus shot off in time. Nice.
Let the ink flow.
Oh no, are you one that I'm gonna have to perfect parry? No, okay, I just have to shoot you. Got it. Come on, give me the first strike. Yeah! Okay, so those ones I just have to shoot. That's okay. Those are pretty well. That's pretty well enough.
An advantage.
Oh my catalyst. I still don't know how to use those.
I'll do it.
Lunde, watch out!
There we go. We're getting better at this. We're learning. We're growing. We're locking in.
Well, that will help.
Oh, I almost got ambushed as fuck. LOL. Get dunked on, nerds. This is gorgeous, though. Holy shit. Gorgeous area.
Over there. A hut.
Slow down. We don't know what's inside yet.
Okay. I don't like that there's a save point outside this hut. I don't. But like, I'll take a free save point, I guess.
Look, there's a door inside.
Seems empty. Let's go. Someone lives here.
Uh-oh. Who's following us? Okay, pretty mansion.
Where are we? This is...
Alright, let's explore this gorgeous manor. Locked. 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 Is that my L?
Mael?
Gustav? Are you real?
She's been through something. She's seen something based off of her reaction to this alone. Loon knows it.
Well, you sure smell real enough.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. I thought that you... On the beach, I saw you and I couldn't, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have, I should have come for you and
It's okay. It's okay.
I was worried.
Made it.
They did make it out alive.
How did you end up here?
I don't know. It's all a blur. I remember everyone at the beach. Then I woke up here.
What the fuck is that thing?
With him. He's been helping me a lot. He reinforced all my pictos.
What is he?
I'm not sure. He doesn't really talk.
The chroma around him. It's quite different from the Nephrons.
He is an interesting guy. Okay, now I'm Mael. Also locked. Mael runs like normal, it's just Lune that does that weird floating thing. Also locked. Okay.
How did you find me?
There was a message at the indigo tree.
Do you know who left it?
A message? Maybe. No. I don't know.
Locked. Okay. Back down to the first floor we go. A lot of musical instruments just laying around. The music in this game is absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely adore it. What is this place? I went in there. How? How do I get in there? Over here. Okay, so she already has all the abilities learned that I can teach her. Okay. I need to get into that room. That's on the other side of that fireplace thing that I opened. I need to find a way into that room, I think. Something over here, maybe? Is it in the fireplace? Really pretty roads to just vibe in there. I opened that up and I don't want to leave now that I know that that's there. I want to know what it does. But I don't know how to get to it. Maybe there's something further down here? Oh. Okay. What in the fuck stick am I doing? So that just plays a song. something on the dining table? Perhaps? No. It's got something to do with that tunnel. I can't progress until I figure out what it is, but it's got something to do with that tunnel. I just gotta figure out how to get inside. How do I get inside you? Let's see. If I were a secret tunnel leading to nowhere, where would I hide my entrance? Hide a painting? Hmm. What about over here? Anything over here I can interact with? Other than the piano? I think it has something to do with this fucking thing. I'm pretty sure it's this door over here. I'm pretty sure it's something behind this door here. I don't know how to get in. Very definitively locked.
Again. We just trained earlier. All right. But this time I have backup.
Boss fight? Okay, Virtuoso stance deals once more damage. Offensive stance deals more damage but takes increased damage. One less damage gains 1 AP by every switch between the stance and one man with 1 AP. Okay.
Brace yourself.
Okay.
won't escape.
That was fun, but I think we've had enough training today. You could come with us if you like.
Thank you, Chatman Bot.
If that's a yes, we'll see you at the camp.
Okay. I found my L, so I guess I just need to find a path through the flying waters now.
We should go to the manor and maybe learn something.
Yeah, or we could get back to the Indigo tree.
Neko's usually here. I wonder where...
Uh-oh.
Is that a Kestrel?
Stop that, you big hairy brush face. Can't you see they're human? Noko's a bit dramatic, but if you're nice...
I love
I'll
Noko.
trade you lots of useful items for Chroma.
So the tales are true. Perhaps the grandest in the SKA exist too. Are there more Gestrels like you? I'd love to meet them.
Noko, you silly scruff. Their village is not far from here.
Oh, really?
Lune,
I want to go meet the other Gestrels.
Detours.
yeah, we need to get to the Paintress.
There's another sea between here and the Paintress.
Noko, as the best Gestrel merchant ever, I bet you know a solution, yeah? Come on, you broomhead, I know you know.
I love him, Your Honor. I want 15 of them, Your Honor.
To meet more Gestrels.
Mr. Merchants travel across the world offering rare and powerful artifacts in exchange for karma. However, the most powerful items are reserved for only the widest squares. Impress the merchant by defeating them in duel and access their secret. Let's just choose the next. I only get one? Guess we're going with Gustav. He is my strongest. Okay, I feel like he was easy because he's the starter one, though. Exposing attack. Ooh, we'll buy that for my L. I don't my L real fucking fast. Okay. Good on help.
These dead Nevrons. Who could have done this?
Guess.
So you didn't just stay in your mansion.
Perfect.
Guess we found 68's boat.
There's a path through the boat.
Oh, the vibration.
My sword is dead.
Okay. That's my first competitive game of Valorant. How'd that go? How you feeling, big guy? Went 16 and 11. Nice. Congratulations. Okay, let's see. L. Weapon. Ruler wrap. Good job, buddy. I'm proud of you. Fourth across the board, so not too bad, and I was Yoru? Ooh, how'd you like Yoru? He's a great agent. I love him a lot. He's a good guy. I like Yoru a lot. Something's landing near me. What is it? Oh, one of those guys. Okay. He's finally used his ult to flank a couple of times and got great success with it. Good. Good. Wham! And then we do one of these on the big guy. And then we do one of these. And one of these. Well, I'm not good at blocking this shit yet, but that's okay. Oh right, that thing dodges everything and you have to fucking parry it to do damage to it. Yeah, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you had a good time, buddy. Got it. Let's go. Look around and see if there's any little items or things like that for us. A grapple or something up there? There's an item up there that I want. How do I get to you? Around, I guess. Leave it, see if I can find a mine to bring back to it, like the one who wanted a light. We can't just shoot that one down. Got it. Okay. I think what I need is down there in that pit. There's no way they'd just give us this pit and not give me something to do with it. What I am looking for is down here somewhere. But where? Where is the question? Also, I'm sure this area looks a lot better to those of you who can see the color blue. It's a very muted gray for me. But I'm sure it looks really pretty to those of you who can see the color blue. Hopefully, you're enjoying the view, because we're going to be here for a while as I try to figure out where this shitting mine is. Let's see. Gotta be a reason you can come down here. They wouldn't just create an area for no reason. Where the fuck is this mine at? A little dude. We'll come back to this.
Nice.
Augmented aim. Okay. Is there fall damage in this game? We better find out. No, okay, cool. What? This is the way it came. Is it that way? This thing's guarding that, so I'm assuming it's that way. Let's try going this way. Okay. Whap. Whap. Whap.
Let us stain them. Careful, my love.
Oops.
Let us stain them. You don't get to die yet.
Right, you just have to shoot those. I forgot about that. Okay.
It's forging something. So they have intelligence.
Welcome back from the ads, chat. This is a boss fight and I have no health. I just realized.
I'm not giving up.
Careful, Maya.
Okay.
but it's death. I'm ready. Let the ink flow.
Okay.
Ink flow.
It wasn't a boss fight like I thought it was. Just a big ass dude. Okay.
We can use that.
Okay. We're building Mael and Lune to be glass cannons. We're building them all to be glass cannons, to be honest.
Nice.
Probably isn't ideal. I should probably make one of them like a healer and one of them like a tankier person, but if I just make them all glass cannons and I can do enough damage, I don't need to heal. You know?
Let the ink flow.
Feel the burn. Finesse and grace.
Get ready.
I dodged those, but okay.
Danger.
Okay. I just have to live through one more attack from this guy and I think I'm good. I parried, but okay. That's fine. There we go. Easy enough. Easy enough. Came from this way.
An advantage. An advantage.
Expedition 68, Elodie. It's a miracle any of us survived. We were caught in the maelstrom and flung from wave to wave. We lost the moon and the stars, condemned to a never-ending darkness of punishing rain and raging clouds. The Paintress sent a storm to overcome us, but it is we who have overcome the storm. After surviving that, crushing those Nevrons was almost an afterthought. Strength and resilience, it's how we survived that storm, and it's how we grabbed victory. It wasn't even a battle. It was an ink bath. We squeezed those Nevs dry. But this new one looks tougher than the others.
Okay, so there's a boss fight coming up, which means I need to find somewhere to stay.
So many. I don't like this.
Oh, that's a big boy.
This one is gigantic.
Oh.
Avoid those at all costs.
Okay, so I literally can't go fight him. That's just a drop off into the abyss. Got it. Boss fight? Let's see if I can actually do this, shall we? Or Jian. Yeah, this is a boss fight.
Spill some ink.
I'm ready. Ready to evade.
Ready to parry.
Oh, great. Cool, so I just can't gain AP.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Flames on me. On me. On me.
Damn. Okay. So I have to find a way to parry that move where he eats one of my guys. Because that was rough not having Gustav for like all of that fight.
I'll do it.
Okay, so there's just no... I just have to dodge that, I guess?
Take him down.
Finesse and grace.
Well, look out!
Let's spill some ink.
Okay, so I got the first one, but none of the other ones. They were just way too fast. Holy shit.
Let me paint this!
Oh, great. I got Loon back. Okay.
My sword is death.
Let's see. So I just can't dodge that attack. He just gets eaten. Got it. I literally just have to survive the damage until he spits the player back out. Got it.
Okay. Ready to parry.
Nice.
Thunder. I can do it.
stain then.
Shit. I don't think I live this, you guys.
On me. Okay. I can do it. My sword is dead.
Okay, maybe I do survive this until he spits out Gustav. I just need him to spit out Gustav. Please? Please spit out Gustav?
Okay. On me. I'm not giving up.
No, I was so close. Oh, if only I hadn't lost the other two, I would have had that. Alright, we're gonna try this again. Cause I almost had that. I almost had that, chat. We almost had that. Just need to apply burn early on. At least she ate my L this time.
Let us stain them. Dodge Gustav. I'm ready.
Nice.
Take cover.
Hey, Clips, how you doing? What's up, friend? How goes it? I just need to store AP until I can do that other attack again. And I just need to keep him burning. Oh, nothing positive day. Fair enough. How was your holiday? Hopefully it went well. If it's a rough holiday for you, I'm sorry. Ate too much? Oh, I feel that. Hey, hold on, I can still use Electrify.
those who come after.
How are you? I'm doing good. Really enjoying Expedition 33. A lot of fun. Oh my god, he spit out my L. That's perfect. Beautiful. Excellent. Get shit on. Oh, I'm so winning this time. It's like a Souls game. Kind of. It's like a turn-based Souls game, I guess you could call it that.
Spill some ink.
We love triple critting in this house. Like turn-based combats is one of my favorite games in the genre. I've never played a turn-based combat game before. This is my first one. I'm having a really good time with it. Second tried the boss. Let's go. Let's go. Increased counterattack damage. Okay. What did beating that guy give me? Was he hiding anything? Did you have any goodies, sir? No? You were just a boss fight? Okay. He was just a boss fight. That's fine. Whatever. We got XP for doing it. That was a really cool fight, though. I did like that. This place is gorgeous. Holy... Let's just heal real fast before we go fight that guy. Upgrade our attributes. Learn a new skill. He just showed up like, where are you going? Away from you, sir. That's where I'm going. He fucked off. That's good. Where did he fuck off to, though, is the question. We're gonna do some trouble.
This building has a certain...
Take him down.
Ice shatter.
Nice.
Ready to evade. Careful, my L. Touch Gustav.
Those guys are fast as fuck. I literally just can't hit them fast enough. Or hit the parry button fast enough. That's alright though. I'm better. Crap. Fight with this guy. First strike. App. And we win. Not what I wanted to do. Lizard. Alright, you got it. Here's some water. And I hit a big stretch for you, Eclipsed. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate you for taking care of me. I try? Yeah. You do a good job. He just shielded everybody like a bitch. Gotta burn this guy down. There we go. Gotta remember, you just gotta shoot those little dudes. Let's look around here a little bit. Sneak attack! There we go. There we go. Easy game for babies. Let's see, where do I go now? These the red trees that I was talking about being everywhere at his village? Because this is his village. We're kind of cooked, chat. Alright. Another quick fight. Up.
A storm is coming. Feel the burn.
There we go. Nice, let's go. Anything up here? Anything to do? Controller's vibrating like right here. There's gotta be something here. Grapple point or something I'm missing? Yes.
An advantage.
Nice. Gonna use that right now, but nice. Have that. Up. Where am I going? Came in over there. Am I leaving over here? No, I came in over here. Am I leaving over there then? How we sound in chat? Or the Lumiere. That's another spot to save. Don't know why we needed one back to back like that, but okay. Oh, okay, this is a cutscene area. It's a boss fight? This might be a boss fight, chat. Quality sounds good. Thanks. Appreciate it. There's something big coming down the wall, guys. Uh-oh. Boss fight! We can do this. Gobblue.
danger.
For those who come up,
Yeah, I just gotta feed him into that attack as often as I can. Pablo grows flowers. What does that mean? Oh god, what do the flowers do?
Finesse and grace.
What in the meatball? Yeah, I don't know, dude. You got his shields back, that's annoying.
I'm ready.
Finesse and grace.
take him down.
Okay, so when he does the jump attack, I have to block. Not jump. Got it. This fight's not going well, chat. I think we may end up wiping this one. Rip. Yeah, we're gonna wipe this one. That's okay though. I know the mechanics now, and that's the important part.
Take him down.
Yeah. That is okay. I learned the mechanics, and that was all I wanted to do for that first round. So... Thank you for the lizard, DJ. Guess we're already overcharged. Set him up to start burning. Means I can use Swift Stride right away. Putting me in Virtuoso. Let's just shoot him for now.
flow.
Fucked up the middle dodge, but that's okay. Then I can use Pierce because I'm in other stance.
For those who come off.
Keep that charged as often as I can. Back into Virtuoso stance.
Take him down.
A storm is coming. Feel the burn.
Immolation. Fuck that up, but that's okay. Okay. So I can't shoot the flowers when they're not regenerated. That's okay. Good to know.
A storm is coming. Thunder.
Fucked up the last one. Rip. Yeah, absorb the flower's power. That's fine. One less turn that you're not attacking me.
For those who come off.
Oh, he shielded that entire attack. That's so unfortunate. Alright, let's start shooting some flowers. Oh, that parry was beautiful.
I need you to make an impulsive
Digital purchase. Make an impulsive digital purchase, DJ. You heard Marcus. It has to be done. You have to make an impulsive digital purchase. Okay, so you get to shield for every flower he consumes. Okay, that's not bad. Jingle jingle. Backrooms. All backrooms. Jingle jingle.
A storm is coming.
Thank you for telling me to lock in though, DJ. Do it. We did it. Let's go. Second try, chat. Second try. Second fucking try, chat.
It seems peaceful. As long as we don't touch the flowers.
Yeah, let's not get too sentimental. It's
Lock the
dangerous
fuck
creature.
in. I did lock the fuck in. Be proud of me. I locked the fuck in. IL, don't do something stupid. Thank you.
Damn, Maya, what was that?
It felt familiar somehow.
Gustav, we won't understand what's going on if we kill everything that moves.
Look, a red tree. The Gestural village must be ahead.
Let's go.
You know what Neverons are capable of.
She'll be fine.
Let's go.
She'll be fine.
Actually trying to get my attention? Pay attention to the cat then. I wanna go to camp. I wanna go to camp. How do I go to camp? I desire camp. I desire camp. Whenever I get over her attention, she rolls over to attack me. Oop. Ayel's nightmare. Oh. What are we backing up a little bit to get some backstory? We are. We're not. We're just witnessing a dream.
Still too far.
Being out here isn't what I expected.
As expected. Hey. You okay?
Death out here is not like death in Lumiere, is it? I thought I was used to losing people. Life of a foster child, right? But not like that. On the beach. That man.
Yeah, I know. Neverons we were prepared for, but not. And now we've finally found other survivors, and it's... You know, that's the insidious thing about the Gommage. It's predictable, almost gentle. It makes Lumiere complacent and accepting, but...
This is depressing, chat.
Gommage is equally violent than death. Death is just as final.
I've been having nightmares.
Yeah, me too. Look, if death approaches, I want you to run. No, promise me. Run. Especially if we meet the man from the beach. We can't face him. You see him, you run.
I mean, it's a valid assumption.
Only if you do the same.
Oh, I'm running as soon as I see a strand of white hair, trust me. You won't even see me, I'm running so fast.
Oh, please, you're an old man. I can outrun you any day.
33 is not that old.
There was a time when 30 was young, you know.
Sure.
He arrives at camp. 2132, is it that old? Well, to these people it is. Because they die at 33 or get gamaged. When the main source of attack power can't be aligned as Lumina. While active the weapon is equipped. Let me see what I have equipped on everybody first. I need to upgrade bolts. God. Hey buddy, I need you to upgrade some weapons for me. Okay. Okay. Now that we've properly upgraded everybody, let's... Okay. Learn some new skills, maybe? I don't really use my earth skills. I'm not gonna bother. Let's just hoard up our skills for our fire skills, honestly. Let's hoard up our skill points for our fire skills. I actually think this is as good a spot as any to stop the evening because I have some recording to do after this and I don't want to forget to eat and stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the death counter because it's behind by 20. Set the death counter. 34. Save the death counter. Then we're gonna get out of here. Does anybody have anybody on today that they particularly wish to raid? I'm ending earlier than I usually do on Sundays, so I don't really have anybody on that I know of right now. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate all of y'all for swinging by. I have had a blast, as usual, with you guys. My friend playing Comp Valorant? Sure. Fuck it. Take me to your new friend playing Mr. Satan Jr. Okay, let's do this. Let's do... Take care of Mortis's friend the way you guys have been taking care of me all evening. I love you guys. Stay cool, stay calm, stay frosty. Know that the world is better with you in it and that I appreciate all of y'all for being here. Mortis, they're on a break. Do you know when they're coming back? They're not at their desk. Did they say when they were coming back? Because I don't want to raid them while they're on a break. Because I don't want them to miss it. I don't want them to miss it. We'll wait. We'll sit here and we'll wait for them to come back from to their desk chat, is what we'll do. We'll sit here and we'll hang out for just a little bit longer while we wait for them to come back from their little bathroom break or whatever it is they're doing. And then when they come back, we'll hop on in and say hi to them and let them know we were thinking about them and wanted to come hang out and we're friends of Mortis's.
South Carolina is gone.
It's gone. It's usually gone too long, probably had to pee. That's fair. Okay. Yeah, we'll wait for him to come back and then we'll go hang out with them for the rest of the evening. Once again, thank you guys for being here and for doing all the stuff that you guys do to help me, you know, make good content and be the best that I can be for you guys. We'll be co-working tomorrow. We are co-working tomorrow. We'll be working on the duck game again tomorrow. Because I need to get caught up on duck game stuff again. So yeah, we will be duck gaming tomorrow. Don't you guys worry about that. We'll be back on our usually scheduled co-working tomorrow. And yeah, I can't wait to see all of you again. It's gonna be a good time. Hopefully the co-working sessions have been helpful. But yeah, Mondays will always be co-working, Mortis. And then the rest of the week we'll be playing Clair Obscure. Till we finish Clair Obscure anyway, and then we'll probably start. I think we're gonna start Fallout 4 after Clair Obscure. Well, I'll put a poll up in the Discord on what we want to start next. But I think we're gonna go back to our root to being a story gamer. As much as I want to keep playing like Destiny and Valorant and stuff like that with you guys on stream, I think we're gonna go back to being a story gamer. And I'm just having a good time playing story games again. I forgot how much fun they are. Yeah. Thank you guys for always supporting me no matter what it is we're doing. But if you're in the middle of a comp game, don't worry about chatting and stuff. Grab these messages. First one if you are, sub second one if you are not. We're gonna go hang out with Mortis's friend. I think he's coming back here in a second. He's back. All right, let's boogie. This is Mortis's friend, Satan. You guys have yourselves a lovely evening, and I will see you all tomorrow for some co-working. Stay cool, stay calm, stay frosty. Know that the world is better with you in it, and that I appreciate y'all for being here.